I actually sort of like how it ended up, the color. I did put the foam strip on the window, and I got Alex down here with our new camera. So this is our first video shoot with it. And Alex is going to come over here and give me a hand put this glass in. The self-tapping for metal. However, using our MDF cabinet, I'm going to use some drywall screws. Alright, so that was actually a lot simpler than I thought, even though, like I said about the screws. I don't know if I've talked about this here yet. Since we made this out of MDF, 3/4 inch, if you ever work with MDF, it's pretty heavy. If I need to put something big in here, I need to hold this up, flip this down, and be able to pull it in there. I can't hold this up. I can get some eye screws, put it on the ceiling. It comes from this hand winch, and I can raise and lower the door as I need. Now, downside. I did put this on wheels, so if I ever need to move it, say I need to pick up something real heavy, I can use my chain hoist to pick up something heavy, push the sandblasting cabinet under, lower it into the sandblasting cabinet, shut the door, sandblast it. Downside is with the eye bolts in the ceiling, I'd have to disconnect it from here, move it out, and use the door manually. I think it's a decent trade-off, so I really don't want to have to move it, but in the rare occasion I would have to move it, then I'll just have to get some help, hold the door up, or move the door, or flip it all the way open to use it. So next, we're going to slap the gloves in. Alright, so the screws for the window, see they poke through just a little bit, but the glove flanges, they come through quite a bit. I have to cut them off with a grinder. Take it here, put your hand through the hole, make sure you got the left and right correct. Take a thumb up, because that's how you reach in. So then we got to get this puppy on this hole. Aim the camera at what we're working on.
I am. One glove, that's that. I'll put that.
Look good? All the way down. Alright, so gloves are in. I think it will be slightly annoying. I don't think a lot of people would want to do the opening where the gloves are, but to me, to have a much bigger opening is well worth it. If you close it, yeah, I gotta make sure you don't get pinched, but what's that? Second? So,
It's also got a light.
yeah, found a floodlight on my shelf, so shed some light on the subject. So I could comfortably, standing, lean up against it, have my arms up to my elbows through there, hold the gun, and I opted for the trigger gun instead of the foot pedal. My buddy has the foot pedal. I tried it out, I didn't like it, so I went this route. So if I need to get something back in the back, I will have to get a little uncomfortable to reach that far, but I think this is perfect. I can lean up against it, up to my elbows, and blast. Alright, so I've had a couple of these rolling around. Alex, stay there because you're probably going to have to move the camera for me. A roll of felt stuff they got a staple on. We're going to use it up. I might have to go to the hardware store and get some more. I got to get some eye screws anyway. I gotta be able to get that. Now, just for your information, I built this cabinet before I ordered these parts, and part of the kit that I bought was with how to build your own cabinet out of plywood. Really nice. These guys at Scat Blast TP tools are awesome, incredible, very helpful. However, I have built this before and I wanted a front opening and a side opening, which these plans are, I believe, to be geared around. So my top, if I close it with the gasket in it, it's just going to rip it right off. So if I do anything at the top, I'll just put a piece of rubber or some rubber roofing just in there so no dust goes billowing. It'll come out, hit the rubber, and slowly fall down. Maybe even put a vacuum on it to suck it up. We'll play with that when we get to it. Alright, I got these latches. You can see them. I believe I got them from Amazon. Just we need to go at an angle. I think we're going to bend it. A little bending right here. To bend it down. That way it can come down. Latch onto that. Let's give that a shot. Yeah?
I mean, if it works, I guess.
Okay, so not sure if it's absolutely necessary. I know this camera like zooms in, so I'm hoping my face isn't like wham in your face. But so I'm not sure if it's necessary, but reclamation process. Anyway, so the shop vac that sucks air out of the sandblaster, I'm gonna run it through the dust deputy. And then from here out to the shop vac. That way, anything big that it sucks up will fall into this repurposed fire extinguisher. The dust deputy will sit on top just like that. And on the bottom, the nipple coming down on the bottom with the valve. That way I can empty it out. Alright, just two little tacks. I'm not worried about being airproof. If anything, I'll suck a little bit of air through from the shop vac, and if that's the case, I can always just wrap it with epoxy or something. Let me move you guys.
Now I am.
Alright, so got this G5 5-minute epoxy. Mix it up and put this bitch together. That's my build of the sandblaster reclamation apparatus. Yeah, let's say that 3 times fast. But yeah, so now we're going to mount this, and also I think I'm going to put some plywood on the bottom. We'll see how the shop vac fits in there. And I ordered the new 2.5-inch hose for my HEPA vacuum.
It's just really close up to your face.
So I'm hoping it'll fit underneath there somehow. And the other side, maybe storage for extra sand or something. It's all right. We'll get back to you in a little bit. All right, so it's all painted. Got it mounted up. I'm gonna drill the hole, slap the little puppy on there, and connect it up and see how she works. The normal shop vac hose with some hose clamps on it, and when I get this on, I'll explain to you how I expect the system to work. Got the dirty air being sucked out, come inside the dust deputy, which with this sucking the air should cause a vortex. There's some confusion here, but so we're going to test it. We got to zoom in on here to really, hopefully we can see it. So that dirt I picked up from the floor. Oh yeah. Here. Alright, so my boy Dennis here is holding the camera. Alex is busy at the moment. Just brought up. So we got our whole nice dust deputy dirt collection system. Should suck up any dust out of the box, and anything big should fall into here, which I can drain, which I did suck up a little bit of dirt to see if anything falls out. Oh, look at that. So the one thing that Dennis here brought up, I'm not sure if it's going to keep the inside of the cabinet non-dusty so I can still see. So we might end up having to put a opening on this side, a one-way flapper valve to let air in. The other thing I want to show you is I got my little eye screws up in the ceiling. Since my cabinet's so big, and I made it a lid for the door. That way I have a way to hold it up too while I place rusty or clean items in or out. So, give her a shot. I'll call that a success. It worked. I just gotta get air supply hooked up and some medium. So when you come on this side, Dennis, I'll show you the air inlet. So the air is going to be coming in here. I'm going to run a hose across the ceiling to come. We need to get some 1/2-inch hose. So we have to start with a regular water separator, pressure regulator, and then what's it called, a condensant, cohescent something air filter. I just call it a toilet paper filter. The inside filter looks like a roll of toilet paper. So this gets out to most of the water. This will catch the remaining of the water. But I also put an extra guy in here so I can blow sand off of the piece I just got done. And plus it gives me an air hose adapter for this side of the garage. So far, I'm going to get an air hose, run across the ceiling, and put media in there and we'll test it out. Alright, so sandblaster is done. The one thing I didn't show you how I was doing, but it's pretty simple, we figured out, is I have a side door here for doing long material. So 2 pieces of rubber, one here flap that way to a flap opposite. It should keep the majority of the sand inside and the rest of it can stick out. It's for doing longer than 66 inches. Simple as that. And then you look here, we got 2 bulkhead bolts sticking out. This piece here with some wing nuts. When I'm not using it for big items, just put it up there, put some wing nuts on it, and bam! I can do long 8-foot pieces of steel and not have to have a sandblaster 8 feet wide. I think this puppy is big enough as it is. Doing? Not much, you?
Can you see it? I haven't aiming yet. Zoom in.
Getting a reflection.